Luddy bought a home that had been bought by an investor and then flipped. Several months later, Luddy now is saying she's seeing problems pop up. For example, there's an area that looked like it was wood when she had it inspected, and it was inspected, but now it appears to be plaster of some sort, and it's falling apart. So Luddy's asking, can she go back against the seller, and what are the costs and procedures if she goes back against the seller? Lee?
Great question, Lottie. This is a very, very common question that I receive on a daily, weekly basis. It's about property condition. If someone has flipped a house, then they should have given you a disclosure which says all of the things that they did and anything that they didn't do that they might have noticed was a defect when they were doing that flip. And so Kentucky law says you're supposed to disclose any defects that you know about. So if the seller knew that there was this issue about the plaster and that it wasn't good, or if they just basically put a lipstick on a pig and maybe plastered over a problem, or other things that you might find in your house, you have 365 days under the contract from when you find that out. So it's called the discovery rule. It's not 365 days from closing, as some people think. It's 365 days from if you saw that today. You would have another year to file for first mediation, which is a process where people try to come to their own resolution. And then secondly, if you can't come to a settled agreement, then you would go to arbitration, which is where an arbitrator actually decides the facts and issues a ruling that you can then enforce. The costs of mediation are somewhere usually between about $375 to $450 per person. So the mediator's fee might be somewhere between $750 and $900, and each person is obligated to pay half of that. Arbitration can get a little more expensive because it is an hourly thing. You don't know if you have an arbitration that lasts 5 hours or you have one that lasts 10 hours. So you can't really predict exactly how much it's going to cost, but that is certainly something that is more costly and more time consuming.
Yeah, so you have to make the decision. Do you go ahead and spend the money and go after them? That's a real problem, isn't it, Lee? Because it
Yes.
really does come down to whether you
Yeah.
think there's a big enough
Cost
concern.
analysis, throwing good money after bad sometimes, you don't necessarily want to do that.
Yeah, so think about that. And Lee's always available for we'll give her number out in a little bit for some more consultation on what you should do or should not do.